And you were telling me earlier, Chris, wettest September on record already.
For Albuquerque, yeah, we picked up more than 3 inches, and most of that fell in the past few days. And we'll talk more about those rainfall totals in just a second. But here's what's going on this morning. Right now, we have flood warnings in effect for Catron County down into Grant County and Hidalgo County. The flooding around this area is basically concentrated around the Whitewater Baldy fire burn scars. So that's a huge concern right now, something that we're keeping an eye on, and we'll have more details as it becomes available later on today. Flash flood watches for all the counties shaded in green, including Albuquerque and Santa Fe up to the northeast, where it is going to be rather active. These flash flood watches run until midnight tonight. Now, fortunately for now, we're getting a break from most of the activity. Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, up to Santa Fe. Things are quiet and dry this morning after a pretty active Saturday night and Friday night. Las Vegas, you had several rounds of heavy rain move through your area yesterday after already getting hammered this week and picking up more than 5 inches of rain. Fortunately, most of the activity has now pushed off to your east and is fizzling out. Catron County, same deal here. That's why we have the flood warnings in effect for you folks in Catron County, because we had a lot of heavy rain falling in your area. Now, most of the activity what's left is in western Socorro County, just to the west of Socorro and Interstate 25. So while things are quiet now, don't get used to it. That's going to change as we head into the afternoon hours, and we'll talk about why in just a minute. But temperatures starting out in the upper 30s, pretty chilly in Alamosa, sign of things to come down the road. 50 degrees in Las Vegas, 62 in Tucumcari, and it's 63 degrees right now in Roswell. Expanding the picture, you can see that most of the activity across the state of New Mexico has come to an end. There's still an area of low pressure spinning off to our north, and a lot of moisture being pumped into the state. So that's why we're still going to have that threat for some flooding and scattered storms as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. And here's that front that I was talking about. Northeastern New Mexico is going to be the focus for most of the heavy rain. So that's why we have flash flood watches also for that portion of the state. This cold front will move through central New Mexico on your Monday, and that could trigger some leftover storms around the mountains of New Mexico for tomorrow before things quiet down by the middle of the week. So talking about the rainfall totals, this is this week's rainfall totals and comparing that to the percentage that it makes up for the total year's rainfall. So here's the number, the rainfall totals here in Farmington, 2.30 inches. That makes up 27% of your total year's rainfall on average. So we're talking about a lot of rain falling in just 3 or 4 days. And then taking a look further to the southeast in Roswell and Carlsbad, where we had a lot of flooding earlier this week. You picked up more than 3 inches, almost 3.5 inches in Roswell. That makes up 27% of your average rainfall for the year. And then in Las Vegas, more than 5 inches of rain. That almost makes up 30% of your average rainfall for the entire year. More than 2 inches has fallen in Clayton and also around Tucumcari. And here at Albuquerque's Sunport, we picked up 3.35 inches. Yesterday alone, we almost picked up 1.25 inches. That broke a record rainfall for September 14th. That makes up 36% of our average rainfall for the entire year. So talking about the wettest September on record, you can understand why, because most of this rain fell in the past few days. So a lot of rain all across the state of New Mexico, and more could be on the way for today. In southern Colorado, temperatures climbing into the upper 60s, lower 70s with a chance for some more storms. And Farmington will continue with that chance for some storms. In the northwest, temperatures ranging from the upper 70s in Farmington to the middle 70s in Gallup and Grants. We start to dry things out by Tuesday and Wednesday in the northwest. And the southwest, we have those flood warnings in effect right now. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s in Silver City to the upper 80s in Alamogordo and 85 in Las Cruces. And Roswell, you'll make it back into the upper 80s, middle 80s in Lovington, 87 degrees in Hobbs, with more storms possible later on this afternoon. And the northeast, again, this is our area of concern as we head into the afternoon hours with that front. And also for tomorrow, the chance for more rain will continue. Then over in the northern mountains, temperatures ranging from the lower 60s to the upper 70s in Espanola. And then in the east mountains, we'll climb into this middle to upper 70s with a chance for some more rain. And that chance for rain will continue right here in the metro, along with that flash flood watch until midnight. And then we slowly dry things out by Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperatures climbing back into the lower 80s by the middle of the week. So we had a soggy start yesterday morning and a soggy finish. So we'll see what happens next, but that flash flood watch in effect for the remainder of the day.